One thing I love so much about studying the Bible is that you can study a familiar story over and over again and always walk away learning something new. Much in the same way, we can share Bible stories with young kids and they have a clear picture of who God is. As adults, we can read the same story many times and feast on its depth each time. I have read and heard the story about God parting the Red Sea for the Israelites more times than I can remember. But as I listened to Pastor Jim teaching on it this time, something new stood out to me. Let's take a look at some verses so I can show you what I mean. The angel of God, who had been traveling in front of Israel's army, withdrew and went behind them. The pillar of cloud also moved from in front and stood behind them, coming between the armies of Egypt and Israel. What stood out to me in these verses and has continued to come up for me in prayer is how God was out in front, leading the way through the desert, and then when trouble came near, he moved to the back. I know that the God I serve is fully capable of parting the Red Sea on his own, leading the way across, all while keeping the Egyptian army at bay. But that's not what he chose to do, because the God I serve is also a servant leader. He parted the Red Sea through Moses, and then he moved to the end of the line, closest to the danger and furthest from the miracle of the sea parting, in order to protect his people. He had their backs. Sometimes when we are in the throes of a difficult season, whether that's an illness, life change, or just a hard week, it can feel like God is absent. That he isn't changing my circumstances, he isn't making new things happen in front of me. I know I have had these thoughts before, and however, these few verses have opened my eyes to something new, that in these times of trial, God may just be behind me. Maybe he is creating a barrier between me and the trouble coming at me. The more I have thought about this, the more it seems so obvious, but yet it's something I have missed time and time again. God continually sacrifices himself for us. He sent his son to earth. He allowed his son to die in our place. Jesus chose to live as a human and suffer the hardships that come with humanity, including betrayal, embarrassment, and death, to provide a way for us to eternally be with him. Having our backs is just who he is. Today, I want to challenge you to take some time in prayer to reflect on this. It might look like silently sitting in the presence of God and meditating on how dearly he protects you. It might look like devoting your prayer time to praising him, for instances when you know he had your back. It might look like asking him to reveal the ways he has done so. It's not apparent to you. Whether you are a follower of Jesus or just exploring what a relationship with him could mean for your life, trying something like this might open your eyes to a new detail in a situation you've experienced before. Because there is always something new we can learn about this good God we serve.